What's going on, guys? It's Insomulus here again, back with another video, and this one's going to be about how to increase your accuracy dramatically with almost all the weapons available in Apex Legends currently. If by the end of the video you've learned something, please make sure to drop me a comment down below, and if you've already subscribed, hit the bell button. I'll be making a comeback. So, jumping right into things, Apex Legends has set recoil patterns for each weapon. They will all follow the same recoil pattern each time you fire them. However, minor differences in the pattern do occur due to weapon sway, which is the idle weapon movement animation. When you're crouched or uncrouched, which will affect the tightness of the spread. For example, crouch will be tighter and the uncrouched position will have a looser spread. Movement, if you're moving, the spread will obviously be larger and more uncontrollable. And of course, view kick, which is when you get shot on your aim punches upwards. So how will this actually be useful in game? Well, have you ever fired an entire clip at someone only to have a few of the bullets hit? Or complained about how the magazine capacity isn't enough to kill a player without reloading? Well, if you master the following recoil patterns and learn to control recoil properly, you'll find yourself winning way more engagements and spraying people down with ease. A couple of things to note. Firstly, this game has drop and travel time when it comes to bullets. You must remember to lead your shots on moving targets or you will miss. Secondly, when spraying, you must also take into account the distance of the target. For example, if they're closer, you can follow the spray patterns more tightly with less movement, and if they're further away, you'll need to follow the pattern more widely with more movement. The general shape of each pattern, however, will remain the same. And finally, the control patterns that I show in this video are based on the default magazine size for each gun. If you've got an extended mag on, then just take the end point of the control I show you and continue on in that direction, and you'll be able to control the recoil just fine. So I'm going to show you guys a spray pattern for each gun in game and within a diagram that also includes the appropriate recoil control pattern you should follow. So the first gun I'm using is the R301 assault rifle, and as you can see, I've sprayed the entire magazine into the wall to show the default spray pattern of the gun. Then I run back to the same position and follow the control pattern that I show in the diagram to counter the recoil, and as you can see, when I run back up to the wall, the results are obviously beneficial, and you can see that right away. Hopefully you can anyways. The RE45 is a very easy one to control. It just has a diagonal pattern, and to control this you should just move your mouse in a downward slope from right to left. The P2020 goes straight up for most of the magazine. It moves slightly left and then right and then does a sharp left. To counter this, you should move down and towards the end of the magazine, wiggle the mouse left, right and then left. The R99 has a very simple recoil pattern. It goes straight up for the most part, with slight movement right, left, and repeating. To counter this, just pull the mouse straight down whilst wiggling slightly left to right. This is a tricky one, however, because the rate of fire of this gun is extremely high, so this counter movement needs to happen very quickly. The alternator moves almost directly upwards diagonally from left to right, with first slow left to right wiggles, with the speed of these wiggles increasing towards the end of the magazine. To counter this, move downwards with a slight movement from right to left, and about halfway through the magazine, begin to wiggle your mouse left to right. Each bullet you fire from this gun gives a lot of kick, but the rate of fire is slow, which gives you a lot of time to adjust your aim. The G7 Scout is an easy one. It just has a vertical kick upwards, and towards the end of the magazine it does move right, then left, and then right slightly again. To counter this, simply pull down whilst firing, and when you have about 3 to 4 bullets left, move left, right and then left again with quick, slight movements. The Spitfire is a bit of a wild one. It constantly changes directions with varying intensity. To counter this one, you need to pull down until about 10 bullets have been fired, then move quickly to the left, down a bit, pull to the right for the next 10 bullets, and finish with a sharp left whilst wiggling downwards. This one may seem a bit convoluted to explain, so with this one I do think following the diagram on screen may be easier to understand. The flatline is another one that involves some odd movements. To counter this one, pull straight down for the first few bullets, then move diagonally left to right, and when you have about 10 bullets left, make a hook shape as shown in the diagram quickly, and continue to move diagonally left to right downwards to finish. With it being a burst weapon, the Prowler is an easy one as you can imagine. The recoil when firing a single burst goes straight upwards, so to counter this, just pull downwards slightly. When firing in quick succession, however, the first 2 bursts will go straight up normally. The second 2 bursts will not move as much vertically, however, and will have some horizontal movement instead. To counter this, after the first 2 bursts have been fired, wiggle the mouse left to right during the final bursts. Similarly, one burst of the hemlock can be countered by moving vertically downwards. However, once the first 3 bursts have been fired in quick succession, the pattern changes. To counter this, after the first 3 bursts, move diagonally downwards, left to right during the 4th burst, quickly diagonally left and down for the 5th, and diagonally right and upwards for the 6th. Repeat the steps for the 5th and 6th bursts for bigger magazines. Again, this may be one that's a bit convoluted, so it may be better to look at the diagram for this one instead of my description. One quick little addition I will make is that if you press B with the hemlock, you can change its firing mode and you can put it into single fire mode. In my opinion, this is much better than using burst on this weapon, especially if you've got a good trigger finger. The recoil just requires you to pull straight downwards, and as you can see, it's almost pinpoint accurate. The wingman often catches people out because of its animation and delay between shots. Many people wrongly assume that it doesn't have any recoil and that it resets before your next shot. This simply isn't the case. The first shot gives massive recoil, and successive shots give much less recoil but drift to the right. To counter this, just pull down quickly and harshly after the first shot, then slowly and to the left for the rest of your shots. Don't let the rate of fire of the Devotion fool you. It's another easy one where you really just need to get the timing down in order to control the gun. To control this one, just pull downwards for the first few slow bullets that fire and then continue moving downwards whilst pulling left for the rest of the magazine. The new Havoc weapon is another easy one. The recoil just essentially goes straight up with very slight wiggles. However, when you are controlling the recoil for this one, I do recommend you just pull straight down and don't really bother about wiggling, as this will give you pretty good accuracy anyway. And now onto the guns that don't really fit into the category of requiring recoil control. The first one is a triple take. If you do spam this gun, which I don't recommend, the bullets will still go almost in the exact same place, and if you do really want to go the extra mile in recoil control, you just have to pull down ever so slightly. Now the EVA-8 auto shotgun is named that for a reason. Every set of pellets you shoot out shoots in a figure 8, so as you can see here they show up in a shape of 8. As you can see from my poor Bloodhound, if I fired the first shot at that distance and a Bloodhound was placed here, you could see why all the bullets may not hit. If you really want to, you can recoil with this weapon, just pull down and to the left slightly, but it's really not necessary. And with the Peacekeeper, similarly as the EVA shotgun, it shoots out in a certain format. This shoots out in a star shape, so again, take that into account when firing at people at distances. Unfortunately, if you've got the Mozambique, there's not really much I can do to save you. The gun is quite crap indeed. It shoots out in a triangle formation, as you can see, and if you really want to, you can recoil control it a little bit by pulling down and to the left a tiny bit. But yeah, if you've got this gun, you're pretty much screwed anyway, so good luck with that. Now the Mastiff has quite a weird spread. When you shoot it, every single bullet is horizontal no matter the distance in a straight line, and you can actually spam fire this gun and do a little bit of recoil control by simply pulling downwards to make the bullets go exactly almost identical in the same spot every single time. This can be useful as it is horizontal, so at long distances the bullets may not hit, so yeah, a very good tip to use. I would recommend actually trying a bit of recoil control on this weapon. And finally we've got the Kraber. Now if you scope in with the Kraber and shoot as fast as you can, as soon as the scope comes in, the bullet will essentially go in the exact same place every time if the scope is in. If you do no scope, however, it will go within the reticle range, so not really much you can do with recoil control here. I did also forget to include the longbow in this video, however that gun resets perfectly after every single shot, so every single shot will be accurate if you're scoped in, so no need for recoil control there. A few quick tips I want to end on. Firstly, please remember that this is based around PC gameplay only. I haven't taken into account the aim assist on controllers and how that would affect the spray control patterns. If you're a console player, I do believe this will still help you. It may just be slightly more difficult or even easier to implement. Also, do remember that there are many guns in Apex Legends, so learning and being able to take control of these spray control patterns in-game instinctively will not happen instantly. It will take time. But once you have, you will destroy many people no matter the distance. Finally, if you are struggling to implement the exact recoil control movements in game, first start by just simply pulling down slowly on your mouse when firing all weapons. This may not be perfect, but it will definitely increase your base accuracy overall. Now we are coming to the end of the video, guys. I hope you guys really did enjoy, and if it did help you out, make sure you do let me know in the comments section down below and drop me a like. Also make sure you follow my Twitch, it will be at the top of the link in the description. I'll be dropping 20 bombs on there very frequently, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye.